I'm back today with another GreenStalk video. I think this one will help you guys out. Today I'm going to give beginner tips when working with your GreenStalk. Now, this assumes that you know how to grow in a regular garden. You know about compost. You know about mulching. You've had success in the garden. You've gotten a GreenStalk and now you're not quite sure what to do or how it differs. So hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Let me know. First thing I'm going to say is you water through the top of the GreenStalk and the trays trickle down. Now, I don't know if you can see it, but there's the holes here. So the water only goes this big. In other words, the water's not on the outside of the pocket. So you want to water every day. Just trust the system. You want to water every day. It keeps the center of the GreenStalk soaking wet. If the onion here wants more water, it grows toward the wet part. If it wants less water, it grows on the outside. So, I mean, I see a lot of people using them just as pots, and that's cool, and if it works for you, great. But part of the beauty of the GreenStalk for me is I don't have to worry about what plant needs what water. I pour it in the top, it keeps the core wet, boom. Everybody gets the perfect amount of water that they want. That brings me to my second tip is these pockets are kind of dry. All the outside pockets remain dry, but the core stays wet. So I recommend starting your seed somewhere else. Now, I'll show you a trick. I do direct sow in my GreenStalk. But if you're just starting out or whatever, it'd probably be better to start in a seedling tray and then bring it in. Now, another tip is even when you start it in a seed tray and bring it in, you have to individually water this pocket until those roots in the plant get big enough to reach the core center over here of the wetness. So all these plants obviously have roots going to the center. But if I was to plant, say, a new onion, take this out, put it in here, and water it until I felt confident that it didn't. You know, you can tell, don't water it a couple days and see if it's all droopy. When I do direct sow, you know, there's a couple inventions I think that, you know, I'd love to see GreenStalk make one of these. I doubt they will. But I started carrots. Carrots are hard to get to even germinate. Some people do the board method where you put the board down flat and you just water the board every day and it keeps it in the shade and moist, and then once it comes out, after about 3 weeks, you take the board off. Once you start seeing seedlings under the board, you pull it off. So, when I direct sow, I made my own little kind of board. Used back carrots, you can see here that the carrots have started germinating. So what I have done here is I take a piece of cardboard. I have a lot of cardboard laying around. And I put up a big piece of cardboard here, and I take a magic marker and cut out the outline of the pocket so that I have this little, it's all moldy now, but I mean, I just use it. Plus, I soak it with water. So I make a little cutout that fits over the pocket. I stick it in here. Well, I planted the seeds first. Then I stick this on top. I water this, keep this moist. It's been, I guess, about a month. Today's the end of October, so it's been a little over a month, but I got good germination here. So, you know, maybe you could make this out of a sponge. Maybe a sponge would be better, or maybe like a piece of vinyl. If you try this, let me know what you think. Does that work for you or what? But when direct sowing, I use a little piece of cardboard to cover the tops of these until the sprouts come out of the ground. Now, back to my other point, even when it's like this, I have to water this pocket individually until these plants are large enough and sufficient enough to grow toward the middle. And carrots grow great in the GreenStalk, believe me. The GreenStalk has to be level. The way that it has, I think it's called the Bellini effect or something, Molinari effect. It makes like a whirlpool and it goes down and the water trickles through the holes. So this needs to be level. The way I tell if mine is level, the old GreenStalk, my one up on the deck actually had lines on it, but for some reason they took the lines out. This one does say GreenStalk imprinted on the inside. Okay, here's the GreenStalk. Here's GreenStalk. And here's GreenStalk upside down. That's what the tray looks like on the inside. So if you fill it up with water, maybe plug the hole or just go have the hose going fast enough that it doesn't drain out. But on your first time, I would plug the hole and I'd fill it up, and then fill it up to the top of the L or the bottom of the G. Pick a point on the GreenStalk and fill the water that high, and then look at the other ones. Between these three, if you get it so that the water, like if you go to the top of the S, you fill it up to the top of the S, and everyone is on the top of the S, you know your GreenStalk is level. It's important that you have it level so that the tornado effect with the water, the whirlpool effect works. It's important that it's not tipped and one side of it gets more water than the other. Very key that this is level, and you can use the little lettering on the inside of your watering tray to determine if you're level or not. My last tip here is don't be scared. Anything will grow in here. I believe in this system. I think it's a great idea and invention. You know, right here's, I have trouble where I live growing zucchini, but so I bought a round zucchini. And I mean, it's kind of a problem here, and it's kind of too big for this, but you know, I like it. I said I was never going to grow a large plant again, but this is the best plant I've had on zucchini in where I live. I live in San Francisco. It's very foggy. I always get powder mildew on the zucchini, and it just rots. I usually get one good zucchini out of the plant, and then it goes downhill. So, I believe though that the GreenStalk will grow anything. It grows carrots, celery, beets. Let's pull one out here. There's a small beet. These are the golden beets, so they're smaller. But anyway, don't be scared. Try anything you want. It'll grow. GreenStalk's looking pretty shabby today. We're in October. This year, I really wanted to have every square inch, every 16th of an inch covered with plants in my growing space that I have. I kind of neglected the GreenStalks this year. Now they're still producing, and you can't see it. I can't move it. And I got strawberries over here. I just pulled out a beet. I mean, it's still growing, but it doesn't have every pocket full. And some of my pockets are seeded and waiting to come up. So anyway, sorry that the GreenStalk looks kind of shabby, but I've been thinking about this video for a long time, and I wanted to give you guys a rundown. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I hope you got something out of it. I hope it enhances your GreenStalk experience. And hopefully you'll be back, and I'll see you on the next video.